Nigerian parents will not like what I'm about to say. My parents don't know everything. One of the things that struck me from the captain's story is how he wanted to be a pilot. And his father said no. And what was the father's reason? What was the father's reason?
I lost my uncle in 1983 in a plane crash.
I'm sorry.
So my father wasn't going to pay for me to become a pilot because he said, I'm not going to pay for you to send my son to die.
Yeah.
So that was the first hurdle.
Understandable fear. His own brother had died from in a plane crash, and so his son would not become a pilot. But honestly, you know, when you decouple that from the fear that drove it, you see that that can be strong enough to tell a person not to follow their own vision, not to follow their own heart, not to follow their own mission. Something that Timmy Dakolo said when I interviewed him. Timmy, and because I had so many lessons from Timmy, I didn't share this, so I will share it here. He said, when you have a dream, when you have a vision, 1,000 people can be wrong. Many years ago, when I quit my job as a CEO of one of the top 2 PR companies in the country, and just was louting around. Everybody who loved me was like, in fact, somebody did deliverance for me. It was like, I think they have done juju for you. Who leaves a successful thing at the peak of its success to go do nothing? And you know, this is a dangerous lesson because sometimes people do foolish things and they don't have the capacity to self-correct. Unfortunately, I cannot explain the whole of it here. But this is the thing, when you have a well-considered dream, when you've reflected on a thing fully, and you see clearly where you're going. You see, this morning, I got a mail from one of my Egbons. Egbon is Yoruba for elder brothers. And he had sent me a message a year ago about Wish Chude, and 2 years ago, and said, I don't understand what you're doing. I mean, well done, you're doing a great show, but what's all these things? People are coming to reveal. What next after they reveal on your show? What next? And because I had learned then not to shalaye, I said, sir, the fullness of my work will unveil itself over time. And by over time, I was talking about 10 years, 15 years. That's not tomorrow. This morning, barely 2 years, barely 1 year after, he sent me a message, said, Chude, I just finished watching your ID Kabasa interview, and I get what you're doing. You're creating a timeline of the most impactful people. He spoke their English because he's one of those very smart people. And it just occurred to me that I remember when I started the show, I would see comments that people would share with me. I said, this person said this. So Chude left, political strategy to go and be doing interview with TCTC. And they didn't understand it. And I didn't blame them because I'm the one with the vision. When I wake up in the morning, where I'm going to, it's so clear. I'm not living today. I'm not here. I am 30 years in the vision of where I'm going. And so it was later I realized that, oh my God, but you are the one that can see what you are seeing. Other people can't see it. So just let them doubt it. Let them worry about it. But I see who I want to be and where I want to go clearly in my eyes. I'm in service of that mission. When I was listening to the captain saying that, I understood it.
The most scariest thing I've ever done recently was to take my aircraft up and use up every single fuel there is in the aircraft until the engine cut out. And then I went to a tank that had fuel in it to draw fuel out of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Maybe I am. I don't know. I need to do a sanity check. But
yeah. I don't understand why a man will risk his life, carry a plane into the air, and then finish the fuel. I don't understand it. But I understand it. Because when there's a vision in your mind, you don't need me to understand it. When there's a vision in your mind, you don't need me to understand. You don't need your father to understand. You don't need your mother to understand. You don't need your sister to understand it. I swear to God, you don't even need your husband or wife to understand it. When there is a passion in your heart, when there is a clear vision, I think we should move from passion. When there's a clear vision in your eyes, in your heart, it doesn't matter whether people understand it or not. In fact, the more they don't understand it, the more possible that it's a big vision. Your job is to believe in yourself. Your job is to do the work. It's not just to believe, because that's where the problem is. Many of us believe in ourselves but don't do the work. Your job is to say, I know why I believe in this thing, and so I'm going to pursue it. What's the worst that will happen? It doesn't work out. Okay, we learn from it, we keep it moving. That's what it costs a man like this to become one of the only 170 people in the world to fly solo across the world. It's that dream, it's that vision. You don't need anyone's permission to follow it. You don't need their understanding to do it. Just get it.